We're gonna do Evangelion. Hello everyone, this is a weird intro. I probably shouldn't have done this. I will get claimed immediately. This video is already taken down probably.
Yeah.
This is the Renegade podcast, this is the first episode. As you can tell, things are really loud right now.
The Renegade podcast.
Yeah, and it's gonna be fun. Yep. That was the intro to the podcast.
I bet Skype is loving that.
So, who are you?
I'm Jacob from Omeganator Gaming.
What do? You make, like, movie reviews?
LPs. I'm currently...
you make albums?
Yeah, totally. Current one's called The Forest.
Yep. This is the podcast. Alright. Well, my name is Heel, mild-mannered sex machine. You also may know me as other names as a YouTuber formerly known as SeaTactics, and I'm that guy. This is the Renegade podcast. It's kind of a variety podcast. We discuss all kinds of topics. It's a kind of a podcast that goes in tandem with the Inverted Aim podcast. It's really fun. It's going to be really great. I promise.
That's what helps them sleep at night. It's going to be great. I swear.
I'm sweating right now, man.
At all.
What's going on? So, yeah. Someone suggested the D.I.C.E Awards, but I don't know who that was, so. Sorry if, like, things got fucked up. We'll just say that, and shit happens. So, D.I.C.E Awards happened some time ago. Hideo was there, probably. Right?
He got Hall of Fame. I don't know if he was physically there.
Yeah, it says right here that Satoru Iwata received the Lifetime Achievement Award, and Hideo Kojima was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, apparently. I'm just kidding. It was a Hall of Fame of D.I.C.E Awards.
Which might be a little bit less valid, considering we have a few opinions about this list.
Oh, let's get into it, shall we? So, we're going to start off with the most controversial, to some, not a lot, but some, Game of the Year. The nominees were Bloodborne, Fallout 4, Fallout 4, Ori of the Blind Forest, Rise of the Tomb Raider, and The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. What would you... Okay, we're not going to say the winner. Just, who would you think would win this?
Well, I would say, obviously, The Witcher 3.
Same with me. It's
best really interesting characters,
yeah.
A very living world. You just get lost in it for hours.
It looks amazing on console, too. Like, that is an achievement for them.
It makes my computer cry. I mean, yeah, good characters.
And if not, then I would have said Rise of the Tomb Raider.
That is where I'll disagree with you. I wasn't very fond of it. I was watching my brother play it, and I was getting kind of frustrated with it. It's like, oh, this is getting kind of stupid. I mean, maybe when you're actually playing it, it's more enjoyable. But I kept on just thinking, it's like, this is kind of just a recap of the first one.
It is, because it's Rise. The first one.
Oh,
I love the first one. I love Tomb Raider. I'll just say that. I love the new Tomb Raider.
Yeah, I think the first one was really good.
I mean, it's just a great thing when they went from puzzle action game to action game, because in the gritty tone of it, it worked better for me, I guess. I also like the new Lara quite a bit.
Yeah.
I mean,
kind of
I would have said The Witcher 3 though, for sure.
Yeah.
But
like, you could tell a lot of love went into The Witcher 3.
Yeah, and like I bought The Witcher 3 with the box, and you open it, and there's like a thank you letter from CD Projekt Red. It's like, thank you for really buying this game. Like, it means a lot that like you spent your money on this, and we hope like we don't let you down. Arigato.
It had also really good like update support. Like, since day one, they were just out with updates.
16 pieces of free small DLC. One of them having a new game plus mode.
Yeah.
Which is usually only in Japanese games. Like, I would have thought Witcher 3 too. Like, it's the best game of 2015. Like it just is. Like but the game that won was the game that's been in development for 6 or 7 years, that has the least innovation and goes backwards from the Fallout formula that was set up with New Vegas. Fallout 4.
I mean, I played some Fallout 4. I enjoyed Fallout 4. I mean, it's not a bad game.
Yes,
Story,
not a bad game.
Like, the world-wise, I don't think it's not as good as New Vegas or Skyrim. Or maybe I'm just remembering Skyrim so well because I modded the living hell out of it.
I
like
didn't
gunplay?
I didn't like Skyrim at all.
Vanilla, it was a little rough, but I mod my games quite a bit, so I just made it into the game I want. And, like, the world-wise, I really liked Skyrim. And, like, it had a lot of things going, just, like, little things that pissed me off. I'm like, oh, I just mod that away.
I'm kind of tired of the Bethesda story where it's like, we're going to put the least amount of effort into this world. We're going to make it look pretty awesome, but we're not going to do anything story-wise to help back it up.
Yeah. I mean, it seemed like they put a lot more love into Skyrim than Fallout 4.
Oh, yeah,
because
I agree with
Skyrim,
that, yeah.
You're going around, there's a bunch of books, so you can really get into the lore if you want to. But, yeah, you just didn't feel that love with Fallout 4. Maybe,
Fallout 4, this is the perfect way to explain this. Fallout 4 is like Fallout 3, but with less interesting things going on.
Yeah, I think they had some really neat mechanics in Fallout 4. I like what they did with the power armor. It just made you feel invincible and just powerful in it. I like the gunplay considerably more than any of the other Fallout games. But story-wise and just world-wise, the world didn't feel as living as other Bethesda games. Or like in The Witcher 3. Witcher 3, the world just felt so alive. You just get super immersed in it. You just didn't get that with Fallout 4. I just found myself like, going between point A and B.
Like it's really just an action game now, right? With RPG elements. Like it's sad, but you know,
like it's not a bad, but game of the year.
People are like, "Oh, Bethesda is God." Like Bethesda, like the studio, Bethesda Game Studio, hasn't really been like they put out the same game, honestly, the same engine, just they put in new gameplay elements. That's really all they do, and I don't understand how people go crazy for these guys when really the last really good Elder Scrolls game was, you know, Morrowind. Like that really did something, you know, new. And every Fallout game and every other Elder Scrolls game have been the same thing. Like Fallout should just be called Elder Scrolls Fallout because they're the same. They use the same engine and it's all the same. The story is never interesting. It's an action game it's a light RPG action game for the masses, which is fine. But people who are a fan of Fallout 1 and 2 and New Vegas, like myself, like I need, like, they're not catering to the hardcore fans enough, and that's an important part with Fallout.
Yeah, when you get into like in depth, you can spend hundreds of hours of our time playing an RPG. It needs to be a little bit more hardcore because a casual gamer's not going to spend that much time.
Like I get why they did that though. Like they made it an action game. I totally get it. But it's
and I think
disappointing.
The gunplay is way better. I used to hate gunplay in the other Fallout games because it just you could feel that dice rolling behind you every time you fired a gun. It's like, God damn it, I missed it because a dice said I should miss.
Yeah. Even
though he's point blank and I'm firing at him, with a rifle. I will kind of disagree with you on Skyrim. Skyrim is a game that's kind of dear to my heart. I think it didn't feel dumbed down compared to like Oblivion. I think it just felt more refined. The leveling system I thought was considerably better.
That's kind of what I was getting at in a way. It was just they improve like increments, which would make sense over like if there was a 2-year gap. But there's 5 to 6 year gaps with these games, and it doesn't make sense to me.
It's like it seems
like Oblivion to Skyrim. Skyrim should have been like super like really like awesome, like really really good.
It seems like with the amount of time that they've had for this, is that it shouldn't just be a improvement of mechanics. Yeah, that's always nice to see. I will always be happy to see improved mechanics, but it feels like they should also be improving the way the world feels, which is something that the Witcher 3 just nailed that.
Yeah.
Like The Witcher 3 ruined other games for me. Like Phantom Pain, I just couldn't enjoy it as much after I played The Witcher 3 because it was like it felt so empty compared to The Witcher 3.
I mean, really, The Witcher 3 is just an achievement in gaming, which goes into our next topic, outstanding achievement in game direction. God, I nailed that segue. So, the nominees for this, Fallout 4, Life is Strange, Rise of the Tomb Raider, The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, and Undertale. All right. Close your eyes and imagine a perfect world. Who would win this?
See, there's two possible winners for this.
I think we're thinking of the same games.
I'm thinking, I don't quite think that. I'm thinking Undertale and The Witcher.
That's what I was thinking, right?
Oh, really?
I was thinking it's a tie between these two, right?
I was thinking you were thinking of Rise of the Tomb Raider.
No, that's... I mean, for graphics, yeah, but you kind of said it. The story is really just a retread. I don't mind that. Like,
yeah,
Rise of the Tomb Raider is pretty good, but it's
not
an outstanding achievement, you know.
It kind of has the same issue of Fallout 4. It's not
like
it's
Life
not
is
bad,
Strange. Definitely should have also been nominated.
I've yet to even watch gameplay of that, so I don't know.
The reason why I say this is because people the thing, I haven't played either, but what I hear from this is basically, oh yeah, this game it was slow and bad for a bit, but then it really cranks it up to 11, and also just the concept of modern day high school girl, that's your main character. When do you see that? And that's an achievement to make you connect with that character, because that's not a regular character.
Normally a character that you hate in games, it's that whiny little bitch. So it takes good writing for you to actually feel any sort of affection towards that character. So, I guess I'll have to sit down and watch an LP of it, probably.
I just don't see, why is Fallout 4 even nominated for this? I don't know. It's an achievement, but is it an outstanding achievement that this game released? No.
Running at 20 FPS on my freaking R9 280. Run Witcher 3 at...
Come on, D.I.C.E. Come on. It's an achievement in game development, yeah. It's an achievement. I'll give him that. But nothing makes me go, wow. Nothing does about that game.
Yeah.
All these other ones have things where I go, wow.
So, yeah, if I would have chose The Witcher 3. This would have been another Witcher 3 hands down for me.
I'm still not sure on Undertale or The Witcher 3, but I do know I don't know. Those two are neck and neck in outstanding achievement, if we're
I think,
the name.
The Witcher 3, since the world was just so much more broader, and it still had a really high-quality story to it.
Yeah.
Undertale, it had a really good story, it had good character, really good characters, touching little game.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have the same kind of grandness and epicness that the Witcher 3 had for me.
That is true. It's also... maybe The Witcher 3 should have won, too, because story in the game is great, but like I kind of said before, they made that game run on consoles. That should have not ran on consoles, but it runs fine. Solid 30 FPS through what I've played. Sure, there were a couple drops. I'm just I'm looking at it, I'm yeah, these are not, the perfect textures. It's not perfect, but it looks and feels I can't. It's so good. It's just everything about it is I love it. And The Witcher 2 wasn't like that. I played The Witcher 2 and I was well, the story's good.
Yeah, it really, like, at this point, I'm like, man, they're really riding that Fallout 4 cock right there. Just,
Yeah, and they keep doing it.
so shall we move on to the next section?
Yeah, adventure game of the year, and I think this one definitely should have won this one. Batman Arkham Knight, Life is Strange, Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain, Ori and the Blind Forest, Rise of the Tomb Raider. Fallout 4 probably should have been in this one, but as a nominee, I think. No mention of it in this, sadly.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
It's one of the things that Fallout 4 does pretty well. It's not
Yeah, it's a great adventure game, for sure.
It does have a very big world.
Batman Arkham Knight doesn't make sense to me. Swap it out with Fallout 4, like, I get it.
I mean, it's
a big game.
World, I guess.
It just didn't. Everything, like, the look of that game just made me go, oh, okay.
Yeah, I watched a fair amount of LPs, and it just...
This is a $20 game for me.
Yeah. It felt more of a DLC. It's just... Life
is Strange. Okay, now that doesn't make sense, actually.
Yeah, from what I hear, it's a pretty linear game.
I don't know. Yeah. Metal Gear Solid 5, Phantom Pain, hell of an adventure game.
I'm
not gonna lie, that gameplay loop, I loved it.
I didn't like it. It felt like I'm a big Metal Gear fan, and just like I was really into this game, really into it, and then like the ending occurred, and it just ruined, like, because there were a bunch of small little things I kind of just ignored. Ending just completely destroyed the game for me. And, like, alright, Hideo Kojima said he wanted to focus on the world anymore. I didn't think the world was that good. It felt really empty. They could have done really interesting stuff, like have a bunch of civilians, so when you're in town in a gunfight, you have to try to avoid hitting them. Yeah, didn't really have that. It's just...
That game ran beautifully on consoles, by the way.
It was
60
kind of
FPS
on PC.
Oh, that's weird.
Like, I would be sitting there at 60 FPS, and then for no reason, it would drop down to, like, 40, 30, and then show... It's like, okay.
I guess that's kind of the way PC is, though, right? It's just
normally
different
not. There's a bunch
of hardware. I mean, not like every game's, like, runs terribly. I mean, like, it's gonna vary sometimes between people.
Oh, yeah, but, like, it was just weird because it just... I wasn't sure if it was trying to load something in, and it would just do that. Like, when you take off from Mother Base, it would drop down to, like, 30 for me.
For some reason, when Quiet came on the screen and her boobs jiggled, it dropped to, like,
oh,
20.
Yeah,
that
happened as well in PC. Like... Fucking, like, the physics on her was losing its shit. That's another
The game was just like, gotta focus, what do I do?
That's another thing. Like, it doesn't really affect adventure game, but, like, I really dislike the characters in that game.
I loved Quiet and Snake's little romance thing.
Yeah, but
it's a nice high school romance.
I didn't mind that. It's just got kind of pretentious at the end of the game. And I'm, like, kind of rolling my eyes. It's like, I'm quiet on the lack of noise. It's like, no fucking duh.
That's Japanese writing right there, though.
Yeah, I know. Like,
that's in every anime I watch. I am the quiet. I am the boob.
Best game ever. Also, I always laughed at Quiet because they're like, well, she can't wear a lot of clothes because she needs to breathe.
Yeah,
There was someone called The End in Metal Gear 3 that they even quote of him having the same parasites she has, and he wore this heavy ghillie suit.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I didn't even think of that.
Like, bullshit. Just admit it. You wanted boobs.
What maybe... Now, they could have used it this way, since that's a prequel to those games. Maybe they kind of changed a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know. It could have been that
worse,
thing.
I guess.
But Metal Gear Solid 5 won. I think it was definitely a toss-up between... Sorry if I say this, but Rise of the Tomb Raider.
Yeah. I would lean towards Rise of the Tomb Raider.
I mean, I gotta give it to the Phantom Pain. The Phantom Pain, it was the reason why I got into Metal Gear Solid. Like, I was prepping myself for this game, and I wasn't really let down as other people were. Like, I kind of understood. Like, I took into fact, like, Konami is fucking Hideo Kojima right in the face the whole time, and he couldn't focus on the game. So, like, I get it.
Yeah, it's like...
Like, I think it should have won Adventure Game of the Year, even though, like, your points are very valid when you say, like, there's not enough going on, and I totally agree. But you can very much avoid those moments of emptiness.
I hate to sound like a broken clock, but if Witcher 3 was on this list, I would have probably said Witcher 3.
Dude, if Witcher 3 was on every one of these, even Mobile Game of the Year, I would have been like, fuck it, why is it Witcher 3 on this shit?
Like, it's just, Witcher 3 did so much good, and it's like... Fucking Witcher 3.
It's the best game of 2015, hands down. So next up, we had Action Game of the Year. Pretty nice, solid list. Not gonna lie on this one. Maybe the winner, but this fucking Dice is weird this year. I'm just gonna say. We had Destiny: The Taken King, Helldivers, Just Cause 3, Star Wars Battlefront, and Splatoon. Once again, let's close our eyes and bow our heads.
I would have said Just Cause 3. Like, it is the... If you can think of, like, the most generic, cheesy action game ever created, you have Just Cause 3.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful, beautiful thing for it.
I agree that it should be nominated. I don't think it should have won, though. I think that... Hear me out. I think that when something like... Just... Part of it was that the game was overhyped, I think, by the fan base itself. Like, it was like, oh my god, Just Cause 3. But it was really Just Cause 2 improved. And I like that. I think it definitely should have got the nomination. I don't think it should have won necessarily, because I think they really, really fucked up when they didn't put in multiplayer.
Yeah, I mean...
Like, that should have been a thing.
I could see wanting multiplayer, but I don't know. It has such a fun thing. I love Just Cause 2. It is a game that I couldn't really... Because you can just do silly shit in it all the time, so I really enjoy it.
I couldn't really get into it, mostly because it ran kind of badly on consoles. So.
I played it on PC.
Yeah,
I'm a console I played it on my laptop at like 15 FPS.
I play it on my Xbox at 5, so it's fine. We're in the kind of the same boat, but you're cooler. Because you got that PC Master Race. I think The Taken King probably should have won this. Hear me out. Everyone hates on Destiny, but The Taken King is a glimpse of just hope for Destiny and Bungie.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a glimpse. And I know they're putting in microtransactions, and they're probably fucking up the second one pretty good. Especially all the rumors with the engine being all fucked up, and it takes literally days to, like, put in, like, a single item in the engine. Like, wow. The second one's not going to be good, but The Taken King, with what they have, with what happened in development, like, I'd give it to The Taken King. I'd throw him a bone on this one.
Yeah, it's like I haven't really played Destiny. Again, I'm a PC gamer, so it's not here. Yeah, I know my brother's incredibly fond of it because he plays it on the Xbox One.
No, I'm not big into Destiny. I'm not like the grinder guy. I played through a playthrough of it and was like, well, you know, try again next time, Bungie.
My brother's the type of guy that can spend hundreds of hours on an MMO. It's like, ugh. And neighbor kids. Okay. So, do I think Star Wars Battlefront should have gotten this?
Yeah, no. Star Wars Battlefront won, by the way.
Oh, yeah. We've been rambling so long, I forgot.
Let's just talk about Star Wars Battlefront for a second. Well,
is it?
Damn.
Not a bad game.
Yeah.
It had a lot going for it.
There's
it just didn't have enough content
in it. Nothing going on. Talk about nothing going on. This game had nothing going on. It sold you DLC for the price of a full game, and still nothing was going on with that.
It was really, really beautiful, though.
It was.
Like, holy shit, I played the beta, and I turned it on Ultra on PC, and it just looked pre-rendered. It was amazing. Like, wow, this engine's amazing. Too bad there isn't anything to do. Also, it's incredibly one-sided on maps.
Speaking
like
of nothing to do, and people are always bored, so they download mobile games and stuff. Mobile game of the year.
I have no opinion of this.
I do. The nominees were Dominations, never heard of it. Fallout Shelter, played it. Lara Croft Go, heard of it. Heard it's really awesome. Pac-Man 256. The Room 3. Fallout Shelter 1! Why? It's terrible! It's awful! It is the worst thing I've ever played. It's there to make you buy more lunchboxes. Why do you buy lunchboxes? What is the point? You just manage a stupid, boring shelter. Fuck this game. Fuck it.
Game.
I don't care. Fuck this game. It's shit. 0 out of 10. IGN. Although they give it a 10. In this, weird world we live in. I would have said Lara Croft.
Keep riding that Fallout cock.
How much you get paid by these guys, huh? Definitely Lara Croft Go for me. I've only heard great things about this game.
I don't play mobile games.
I mean, I downloaded Fallout Shelter for, I just downloaded it as what the fuck's this game? Total crap. Utter, total crap. 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 Assassin's Creed Unity, if you put that game on mobile, and you, I would probably play Assassin's Creed Unity on mobile over that. That's a weird, really theoretical situation I'm presenting to you guys right now, but...
Dude, talking about weird, what the hell is this next one supposed to be?
Yeah, the D.I.C.E Sprite Award. Now, before the podcast began, I said it was Sprite paid these guys to put their name on an award, and I think that's probably what it is. What are your thoughts on what this means?
I don't even fucking know. Probably that, but it's like if it had the Sprite font, then I could go, yeah, that's that. Maybe if I watched the show, yeah.
I mean, maybe it out, but it's sprites, but why would sprites be playing this game? Little kids playing any of these games.
And there's no direction in this list.
Oh, I will let my 9-year-old play her story. Yes, she will understand the complicated story elements of her story.
Although, you're a pretty legit parent if you let your 9-year-old play Kerbal Space Program. That is true. It's
this, why is her story in there? You're figuring out a murder, and people are having sex with each other, and possibly incest at one point. No Sprite should be playing that game.
I incest. I don't know what Galaxy is. I've never heard of it.
It's a classic kind of arcadey feel to it. It's definitely one of those Sprite games for kids.
Kerbal Space Program, I really like it.
I haven't played it because I'm dumb.
It doesn't take that much to run. If you have a decent computer, a low-end computer, probably run it.
But I can't do rocket science. But I can do Rocket League, and Rocket League won.
And then Undertale. I'm not sure, what were they... Is this, a popular choice award? Is that what it's supposed to be?
Maybe it's Hipster's Choice Award.
I don't fucking know. I mean, Rocket League I enjoyed. Out of all the time, I would have said Kerbal Space Program, because Mick Jeb, you don't even have to be rocket scientist. Yeah. It is just fun to build rocket ships and launch them into space.
And see them
build a space...
You don't know how
space station and just
Rocket League, though, I think it probably should have won something. I don't know if it won anything else in this list, but I mean, yeah.
So it would have been I don't know, Kerbal Space Program or Undertale,
something like that.
Those they're just so polar opposite. How do you even
compare her story? Why is it? Why?
Maybe we should... I think we're both getting kind of mad at this list. Let's go on to the next one.
Outstanding Achievement of Animation. Something I can get behind. All these games definitely should have been nominated. Assassin's Creed Syndicate. Love that game. Batman Arkham Knight. Looks pretty cool, so the animation's great. Ori and the Blind Forest. Ugh. Fucking sex. That game is. Rise of the Tomb Raider. Sex Appeal. The Order 1886. Hipsters.
That game had its problem, but admit it. Like,
it fucking looked
like,
great.
Yeah, it looked great. Like, engine-wise, the game was incredible. Like, you look and it's like, wow, this runs on a PS4.
Mm-hmm. And also, that dirty word is back, outstanding achievement, so we have to take that into account. Assassin's Creed Syndicate, outstanding achievement, visually. I agree so. I thought the game was amazing. I loved Assassin's Creed Syndicate. I've hated Assassin's Creed series since Revelations. I don't know what to say other than I'm so glad Syndicate came out, and I'm so glad they're taking a year off. Jacob E.V. Fry, fuck yeah.
Ubisoft's been on my shit list as a PC gamer for a while now.
Well, yeah.
When they blatantly go, we're not doing this for parody, and then, like, blatantly downgrade the PC one, which Watch Dogs was just the final straw for me. When they're like, well, we just couldn't get it to run, and people modded in all the extra effects they took out, and it ran better on PC.
I think
it was all like, well, fuck you.
It's probably the reason I think PCs have, like, Ubisoft, I don't think it's laziness as much as it's way too many cooks in the kitchen, and the fact that they only have sometimes maybe 2 years to make these games. Maybe, and most of the time, a year. And Assassin's Creed Syndicate, for having 2 years on this thing, and 1,000 people working on it at one given time. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think Ubisoft probably, I know it's going to be weird to say this, but take the Call of Duty approach to developing their games, in which they will...
Which doesn't work for Ubisoft. I don't think. But yeah,
well, they have, like, they'll... Because Ubisoft does have different, like, locations, like, for studios.
Yeah, Ubisoft Montreal, hashtag for the win.
Yeah, so what they could do is just do what Activision does with Call of Duty, and basically one will be working on it, like, 2 studios will be working on it, and they basically will have a 2-year working period, and they just kind of flip around.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that would have really helped just increase the quality with the Assassin's Creed games, because after number 2, I think it kind of just went downhill.
I think the only 2 good Ubisoft studios, the best one is Ubisoft San Francisco. Papa X Palpatine, who's going to be on this podcast, was on a stream of one of theirs. Was in the studio. It's a great story. If you haven't, it was actually on this podcast that he talked about it. It was on episode 0, but he was there, and he probably also agrees with my sentiment that Ubisoft San Francisco is the best Ubisoft studio. I mean, they're making the next South Park game too. Like, San Francisco, Ubisoft is just, they're so good. So good. I love those guys. But Ori and the Blind Forest one, I don't know. Like, this one's kind of hard because all these games are kind of legitimate.
It seems
in the
like
animation department.
Yeah, but Ori and the Blind Forest is a 2D sprite game. So when you look at it in technical side, it's a lot easier to make the animation for a 2D sprite than it is for a 3D model.
And I don't think we're dissing the game necessarily. It's just
it's just like the amount of effort that goes into it. If you want to make a good 3D model, you have to hire basically stunt actors and make them wear those weird suits with a bunch of little balls on them. And that's normally how they do really high quality animations, because doing it manually would just take way too long.
We gotta speed this up, and we're gonna skip outstanding achievement in art direction. That's pretty useless. Outstanding achievement in character, Assassin's Creed Syndicate, Evie Fry, Her Story, Hannah Smith, Life is Strange, Max, Rise of the Tomb Raider, Lara Croft, The Witcher 3, Wild Hunt, Geralt of Rivia. It's a toss-up between me and Evie Fry and Geralt of Rivia. I think it probably should have been Geralt.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with you, but I guess both of us are wrong.
Yeah, Lara Croft won. That probably would be my third choice. I'm not gonna lie. I think she's really interesting. I mean, look, Camilla Luddington is Lara Croft, I think. When I think Lara Croft, I don't think back to the 3 other actresses who've played her before. I don't even think Angelina Jolie. I think Camilla Luddington.
Yeah. I think yeah, this Lara Croft is the best one, but like character-wise, she's not really that developed.
True. She needs way more
developing, yeah.
Just more games, more DLC,
Which,
more. We don't know anything about her outside of tomb raiding.
Yeah, it's like, and I think that's why I was kind of a little bit annoyed with Rise of the Tomb Raider. I was kind of hoping that was kind of gonna be more towards developing her as a character.
I was hoping we were gonna get some segments like we did get those segments where she was not tomb raiding. She was in the mansion, which to me was just kind of like a cop out. Like, all right, but can we see her like walk around a normal day and be cool?
Yeah, see how she interacts with other people outside of a crisis situation. Kind of get a feeling for this character. Like, you had a lot of that with Geralt.
And Geralt, I mean, Witcher 3, like we said, The Witcher 3, if it's on every one of these, it should be the winner. So, the next one is Outstanding Achievement in Original Music Composition. Batman Arkham Knight, Everybody's Gone to the Rapture, Ori and the Blind Forest, StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void, and The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. Witcher 3 should have won. I'm just...
Yeah.
It comes with the soundtrack.
It had a really good soundtrack.
I downloaded the soundtrack, and I listen to it at least once a week.
Yeah,
just
like
casually.
That super upbeat, kind of quick, like, combat music. Mm-hmm. Like, one of my favorite combat music.
It's just fun to listen to. Like, if you're doing something and you don't want to, like, listen to anybody talk or whatever, it's fun music, you know?
Yeah, and it really fit in the environment, and it really helped you get immersed in the game.
Next up, we're skipping some of these now because they're kind of getting very redundant. Outstanding Achievement and Story. Fallout 4, Her Story, Tales from the Borderlands, a Telltale game series. That's a long title. Rise of the Tomb Raider, and The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. Witcher 3 won.
I know. Right?
And it definitely should have because it's a 500-hour game.
Yeah.
Fallout 4 shouldn't have even been in this category. I'm sorry.
Yeah, as we said, Fallout 4... It's a technical improvement from, like, gameplay-wise from 3 and New Vegas.
Story to me is total crap.
Yeah.
Come on. That ending? Come on. You made this game for years. Could have wrote something better.
Outstanding technical achievement? Are we going to be covering that?
Yeah, because The Witcher 3 won that one. Next.
Which, Now, this is one that I actually don't think Witcher 3 should have won.
Really? What are you going to go with this time? Going in the order? By the way, there are Just
Cause
3, Rise of the Tomb Raider, Battlefront, and the order.
I probably actually would have said Star Wars Battlefront. Because sound design and just the engine capabilities of that were just superb.
I don't know.
Sadly, the game had lacked content. And
that... Like I said, this game runs on console at 30 FPS. The Witcher 3 does.
Oh, Star Wars Battlefront doesn't play that bad. At least on PS4.
They play at 60 FPS on those, but that's kind of like really small maps.
Yeah, like it's kind of like when you're looking purely at what the engine can do, I would have said Star Wars Battlefront, but like then it becomes the amount of effort to get the engine to do what it does. Witcher 3 probably comes out a little bit on that. It's kind of a toss-up for me.
I would have said The Witcher 3 or Rise of the Tomb Raider.
Like, Rise of the Tomb Raider doesn't look bad.
Well, it looks fucking awesome.
But I think
it's one of the best looking games out there.
Like, just compared to Star Wars Battlefront or the Order.
I think it looks better than the Order. Order's very dark. The Rise of the Tomb Raider is very bright.
Which I think that's probably why you think it looks better, is just because you get to see more of the detail.
Yeah.
But like the Order 1886.
It's very hard to keep it at 30 FPS on console like that. And it turns in an amazing, like, very amazing performance.
Yeah, so, like, a bunch of these, they deserve to be on the list. Yeah. It's kind of just a toss-up with how you look at it. So, shall we move on?
Yeah, we're going to skip a bunch of these and go to role-playing and massively multiplayer game of the year.
Oh, fuck this list also.
Bloodborne, Fallout 4, Pillars of Eternity, The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, Undertale. Guess who won? Oh, just
gotta
Fallout
keep riding
4.
that cock. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you just love Fallout 4, guys? Don't you just love it? First of all, Bloodborne on itself blows fucking 3 of these games out of the water. Just by role-playing RPG standpoint. No, I'm not saying, Undertale's bad, but Bloodborne is way better than Fallout 4, Pillars of Eternity, Undertale.
Like,
way better.
Undertale, good game, good story, good characters. It's a very primitive game, though. There's not a lot.
And that's the reason.
A lot of depth. Yeah.
It's a charming game, and it just should not win this. It really shouldn't have been nominated. I don't think.
Yeah, it's kind of out of where it should be. It's more of a story-focused game.
Yes. Fallout 4 won. Come on. Witcher 3's on this list. Come on.
Yeah. So,
I guess that's
in our hearts, Witcher 3 won, but on this bullshit list, it didn't.
Yeah. Well, on to the next topic. YouTube recently... That was long. I have to cut out some of that stuff. YouTube recently went on a spree of wrongfully giving strikes to channels and banning some in the process. Fuck you, YouTube. You did it to me. Recently, Channel Awesome and Nostalgia Critic went public with the knowledge that they couldn't get YouTube to respond to their fucking... Oh, God, I'm sorry. For 3 weeks after receiving a wrongful strike. What are your thoughts? I can give you my thoughts, but I want to hear yours first.
I mean, okay, I get it. YouTube has terabytes and terabytes of information coming in daily. So there has to be a lot of automation. But man, when it comes to stuff like copyright strikes, they need to have more hands-on approach with it, or these shenanigans occur. And those were just 2 examples, because my brother was bitching all week, because he watches a lot of Nostalgia Critic, and he also watches a lot of Brain Scratch, and they were also taken down around the same time. So something fucked up in the algorithm that just made YouTube to go berserk.
And guess whose channel was deleted 5 months ago with no explanation and reinstated 4 hours later? Mine. For no reason, I log on and my channel is gone. It said I have been I got the email and it was just like, you have been banned. It didn't give me any warning, no strikes, didn't tell me what happened or what caused it. So I appeal it, and thankfully it listens. And then here's the trick when you're dealing with that kind of stuff with strikes: put in, I believe this mistake was made in error, and immediately gets a real person to read it. That's what I always do, and it works every time. 99% of the time when I use that, my problems are solved.
And it's like, yeah, I'm an incredibly new channel, and I'm terrified at doing, because even using some of the, like, free use stuff, I'm a little bit nervous, like, is this going to get taken down for some reason from, like, some bullshit company that went, oh, well, we're just going to take this guy down to scare him.
This shouldn't be happening in general. It just shouldn't be. This is bad business, you know? This is like, 101, don't do things this way, you know? Because this is bad. And I mean, we can go on and on about what YouTube does bad, because they don't do a lot of things good. It's a sad truth.
Yeah. I mean, and it's kind of the nature of the platform. I mean, there's just so much information coming in. Like, yeah, I get that they need to automate a lot of it. You just wouldn't have enough manpower to manually handle every single case.
Very true. But they just have to bite the bullet on this one, man. They can't do this robot thing they've been doing for however many years. It's caused too many people too many problems, too much pain, and too many pain. Too many max pains they've caused us. They just gotta bite the bullet. They gotta hire some people. They gotta do it. I know they don't make a profit on YouTube, but if you can't do it, don't fucking shut down YouTube. There'll be something else to replace it. Guarantee you. Yeah. Something better. Because YouTube is still in the first wave of content, social media websites for people to create videos and shit. Twitch is kind of the next generation.
I mean, Twitch is more focused on live streaming, and they kind of have that leisure of being able to be more hands-on because they're just way smaller than YouTube. Like, I don't think people fully comprehend the gigantic size and, like, logistical issues that occurs when you're running something like YouTube, especially once it gets to that size.
Very true. But at the same time, you have a responsibility, and you can't run it this way.
Yeah, I'm saying
one rich person, really one fucking rich asshole is gonna get banned for no reason, and he's gonna sue YouTube, and it's gonna be taken to court, and YouTube ain't gonna win. The rich asshole is.
I mean, yeah, it's one of those things. They need to, like, they don't need to have someone micromanaging everything. Just increase the size of, like, your DMCA department so they can more quickly look at, like, bullshit claims. So instead of being down for 3 weeks, at most you're down for like an hour.
And you know what? This has been getting a lot of attention lately. And we've seen what YouTube does under pressure, in extreme amounts of pressure, albeit. So we'll see what they do, but it's very hopeful when you have huge channels like Nostalgia Critic and Total Biscuit and Boogie2988, all these people that are talking about this right now and are putting the pressure on YouTube. I think even PewDiePie may have done stuff on this, maybe. I mean, it would make sense if he did. Hopefully something changes, because it needs to, and I don't think they will, to be honest. I don't think they're going to change a thing, because they can kind of get away with it for now.
Yeah, and it's like, with another thing that you should always note is like, oh, why do they need to change the DMCA system? Like, yeah, it does need to work, but you gotta remember, YouTube can always be sued for something that one of the users did. Mm-hmm. Which is why they have the guilty until proven innocent approach.
Yeah, that's just fucking bullshit right there.
Like, that's more something that needs to be improved on the legal side of the United States, copyright system. My first strike, I've had many problems with YouTube. You'll figure this out through time if you ever are a reoccurring person on this podcast, which I hope you will be. Hope this podcast is reoccurring to begin with. Yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. It's fun.
My first strike I ever got, some random person claimed my video for no reason, or not claimed, but said like I was spamming something. It was just basically spam. Like my video was spam. It wasn't. It was an actual video, but I got in a YouTube argument with this guy because I was like 16, 17 at the time. I didn't know better. So I just, we're getting in a really dumb YouTube comments fight. He flags my video. I get a strike. It gets taken down. Never get the video back again. This was years ago. I'm over it, but it's still... Why? Why did I get punished for something this guy did because he was mad at me? Because I called him an idiot or something. Like,
he got real petty over it, yeah.
Why am I punished for that? Like, that's bullshit. It is so bullshit. I will never get over them deleting my channel for no reason. I will never get over that. That is 100% bullshit. Because even my stuff that uses, like, copyrighted content, it's all in fair use. I make sure it's in fair use. All of my anime reviews, all of my movie reviews, everything's in fair use. I make sure I stay within those guidelines. It's all legal. But I still... Like, I'm scared. Like, every day I wake up... I'm not doing YouTube right now. But I'm still scared when I wake up. Like, is my channel gonna be gone? Like, I don't know. It's that volatile.
Yeah, and it's like, that's more... not really the YouTube's thing, but more of like the U.S. approach to copyright. Because really, as of right now, I mean, YouTube's kind of just stuck in a shitty system. The U.S. copyright system's a fucking joke. Really, it's like you can do shit, and there's basically no legal ramifications for you if the person's not super wealthy. which there needs to be, and the React incident was another kind of show of how bad the U.S. copyright system is. When you can copyright the word React.
Did you watch the Inverted Aim podcast, number 13?
Oh, no, I haven't watched that.
You need to give that one a watch.
I'm
just saying.
It's a combination of, like, YouTube needs to kind of have more human interaction with, like, claims and so on.
I don't know anyone from YouTube. I know people from Twitch. I don't even do Twitch.
And it's like, and there also needs to be a change of copyright law here in the United States. Same with patent law, because patent trolls are also an issue.
Yeah. So, next topic. In your opinion, I thought this is a really nice kind of question, because it's very all-encompassing, almost in a way. Like, everyone can get behind this, especially people watching. In your opinion, what is the best movie sequel in the last 6 years?
Movies I can remember. I'm trying to think. I think Sherlock Holmes' Game of Shadows was really good. That was one I really liked.
Those movies are really, really fun. I think a really nice mention should be 22 Jump Street. I liked it more than the first.
I have not seen those.
They're really good. They're a really good reboot of a really, really old TV show. And they work well.
Yeah, I hear that I should watch them. I hear they're funny.
Yeah, they're really good. Really good. I mean, there's more that I can't think of right now. God. I mean, Avengers 2 is definitely a really good superhero sequel.
Like, I don't think it was good as Avengers 1,
Of course, yeah. Sequels are usually never like that. Unless Terminator 2.
James Cameron, the master of sequels.
Yep.
It's like, I probably can't think of many sequels, because, like, this last decade has been a lot of reboots.
Yeah. I don't mind that.
Yeah. You know, sometimes there's old ideas that, like, they didn't quite work because either they had technology wasn't there yet, or, like, the writing wasn't quite fitting, and then it's like, take another swing at them. Usually comes out shit, but sometimes you get a good one.
Yep. That's kind of the way it goes. God, I know there's so many more. I guess since it's movies, like, I guess we can really count anything. I know this is, like, very weeb of me to say this, but I think Evangelion 2.22 is a very good sequel to Evangelion 1.11.
Talking about your anime?
The first Evangelion movie of the new Rebuild series, I mean, the first one is basically a recap of the original one, kind of. It's the very same style. And then the second one kind of comes out of nowhere, and it ends up kind of being better than most of the TV show and some parts of the movie of the original ones. And, like, it was just kind of out of nowhere. Like, I was just like, okay, it's anime, it's Evangelion, I know what to expect from this. But then I started watching it, I'm like, okay, I noticed that. I'm starting to not notice these things. Now that's cool. I didn't know you could do that with a robot.
Like, that's one of those animes I've been meaning to watch, but, like, I hear little clips of the main character,
the main
and it's
character
like, oh,
masturbated onto a girl in a coma.
Fuck. Thanks, anime. Needed.
Even more confusing, the three main characters all love the main character. In some way.
Like, I just hear clips and I'm like, oh, shut the fuck up.
You
have a giant robot and, like, 3 hot women into you. You are in no place to complain.
I don't know if this would be a spoiler. I'm going to say it. It's not a big part of the series, though. They never really go into it other than they mention it one time. One of the girls is a clone of his mother. So there's that little thing there for you.
Tell me more. I incest.
Yeah, it's not technically incest, but it's kind of incest. It's
same genetic material, same issues.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like that. In Shinji's defense, I will say that it's a different take on a main character. It's kind of like, what would a 14-year-old kid do in this situation? Where he's in a post-apocalyptic world after the third apocalypse happens, and he has to stop the fourth one from happening. While angels from heaven are trying to kill everyone on Earth. And his father hates him because he's useless. And he's confused because he loves this, like, 30-year-old woman, but she's 30, and then there's this other girl that loves her, but she's a dick to him. And then there's this other girl who's, like, really calm and, like, possibly a clone of his mother that he's really confused about, and it's...
Has confused boner.
Like, he has the worst life. He has never had a good life.
Yeah, but he can, shut the fuck up for 2 seconds.
Well, he does. He does. Like, that's the way I see it. It's a realistic take on what would you do in this situation. Like, you wouldn't be all right if you had to experience the things you experienced.
It's one of those things they kind of passed a little bit too far into whininess, and it's like, ugh, fuck, man.
I don't.
Shut up. I had the same issue with Fate's Day Night, and just like the main character being whiny, and it was like, oh, just stop whining and just go along with this.
I mean, I agree. I hate whiny main characters in anime. I think Evangelion, the rebuild, like the 4 movies that are coming out for it, they kind of fixed that problem. He's still whiny because that's still his character, but that's not just what the story is. In this one, he kind of like he takes control of it. You know, he realizes what's going on. And he realizes he has to man up this time, and he does that in the original ones, but that's only in the last 20 minutes of the whole damn series.
Right. Yeah, it's like I haven't watched that much of it, but the little clips I've seen have always been him whining. So maybe that's what's putting me such in like a disdain for him.
No one likes this character. You're not supposed to like him. That's the thing. You're just supposed to. You're not. You sympathize with him a lot throughout the series. In a lot of, like, he doesn't whine throughout the whole thing.
Just the beginning.
Well, it's like, think of it this way. People blow that out of proportion. They're like, that's all he does is whine, complain. Whereas realistically, it's like spread out, kinda, I guess.
I mean,
like,
let's face it, 14-year-old, like, pubescent me, if I would have had access to a giant robot and 3 hot girls that were into me, would have lost my fucking mind.
And he does. He loses his mind. Literally. He goes... Well, okay, that would be going to spoiler territory. I don't want to do that. But don't get it wrong, you know? He has his heroic moments in the first, episode or 2. He saves Clone Mother, and
confused boner mother.
Yeah, there's moments like that, and there's this really good moment where he's forced to do something that, like, he basically is forced to kill his friend, and he doesn't want to do it, and he whines about it. It's merited right there, you know?
Yeah.
But the way he whines mostly is he whines when he's not in an Eva suit. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably just because every, like, clip I've been exposed to when I have seen, like, it on TV or something has just been that, and I'm like, oh,
this guy masturbates onto a girl in coma. What? I don't want to watch this. It's true, that does happen. I'm not kidding.
Anime people. You just don't know what's fucking
But
going
Evangelion,
on.
you're not supposed to feel good watching it either. You're supposed to feel like shit because it's really depressing. It's really dark, and it doesn't. It's really it feels uneasy. It's not. Nothing is all right. The whole world, nothing is all right. Nothing.
Yeah,
is.
like
The sea is red with blood in the series. It's not blue. It's red, crimson red.
Yeah. Like one in like a dark and things are just not okay. It's kind of like a Black Lagoon.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that.
Although that kind of glorifies action and violence, though.
Yeah, it's kind of plays it off, but there are moments when it's like these people are like running children into slavery and stuff. It's like it has those moments. It's like, yeah, it's all actioning and shit, but you gotta remember they're doing like really fucked up shit.
That, yeah.
And hold on.
Yeah. I mean, if you like Evangelion or whatever, I mean that's all right. If you don't like it, that's okay.
Yeah, I mean, I really have to sit down and kind of push myself to watch it. Because I really do like giant robots fighting stuff. I mean, it's why I love Pacific Rim.
I mean, the animation, if you watch the original series, you're going to be like put off by it because it's old, but it has that old art style, so it feels nice when you watch it. In my opinion, I like that old 90s art style.
I don't know, Hideo
Kojima, make the greatest anime.
Fucking getting names mixed up. How am I forgetting Miyazaki? Studio Ghibli.
Hayao Miyazaki.
Yeah. Like his animation style is like my favorite. Like, though you don't even have to be into anime to just sit down and love that stuff. Like Princess Mononoke, I loved it as a child.
But before
we
move on, sorry I have to cut this short. This is getting really long. I will
say
this.
Yeah, I noticed. I'm looking at the timer. I'm like,
I will say this: Evangelion has no moment where it feels good. It's all bad the whole time.
Yeah.
There's no good moments. There's no laugh, ha 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 moments. None of that. None. But what is your favorite movie of all time?
Favorite movie of all time? Now that's a question. I like a bunch of different movies for a bunch of different reasons.
Yep. I guess we could change this one, kind of say, what is the movie you most enjoy? What was the one you keep going back to?
One I keep going back to. Recently, the one I've watched the most in recent memory, Mad Max Fury Road.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. I mean, like, universe-wise, it's one of my favorite movies. Probably just second behind the Alien franchise universe.
Yeah.
But, like, God, that movie just non-stop. Just, you smile the entire time you're watching it. Just doesn't slow down.
God, I hate to go anime weeaboo again, but it's like, it kind of merits it. The original Ghost in the Shell movie from 97, I believe. And that's...
Yeah, that kind of, like, inspired, like,
I love that movie.
Matrix and stuff, yeah. I can see that one.
Like, it's the one that I always, like, look back on fondly and just, like, watch every now and again. Like, it's probably my most watched movie. And if it's not animated, like non-anime movies, I would say Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. I love that movie,
That was a charming little movie, yeah.
I mean, I love it. Like, it also helped that I kind of had, like, a small crush on Brie Larson, like, when I was younger. So, there is that. Is that all?
Gosh. I don't know. We've been at this for quite a while.
A little over an hour, right?
Yeah. Had a lot to talk about, especially when it came to that list. That was probably most of our time spent.
Yeah. I didn't realize it would take that long, but if you guys enjoyed the podcast, make sure to leave a thumbs down, and if you hate us, make sure to flag the video. My name...
And go eat dicks.
Go eat a bag of dicks, you dickheads. My name is Heel, former mild-mannered sex machine. You can sex me up anytime you want. I'm very mild-mannered. I may do it. I may not. So...
It depends how many drinks you put in.
And who are you, and where can we find you?
I'm Jacob from Omeganator Gaming. Have a YouTube channel. Mostly do The Forest. I'm thinking about doing the Undertale.
Got a Vimeo channel. I do it on Vimeo too.
Yeah. Also, can hit me up on Twitter. Omeganator Game.
Tasteful nudes.
Yeah. Don't know how to close.
That's how the podcasts go with me. Well, thanks for everyone that has watched. My name is Steven. Signing out for Steven, because he's not on this podcast. You get it? Yeah. Right?
I'll fade away.
No, you gotta do it the right way. Which is... Yeah! Evangelion!